Have you ever wondered why so many older adults, despite seeming healthy, suddenly suffer a heart attack or develop serious cardiovascular issues? A U.S. study shows that 1 in 3 people over 65 has cardiovascular disease without even knowing it. The striking part is that many of them still walk around normally, eat and live just like any other day, until their body sounds the alarm with sudden chest pain or a collapse in the bathroom. Everything appears stable, but deep down, their cardiovascular system is being gradually eroded by silent factors. The truth is, age isn't the primary reason older adults develop heart disease. It's the small daily habits, the things you consider harmless, or simply the routines you've followed for so many years. Like not managing your blood pressure because it's always been this way. Like sitting too much on komamench, being inactive because I'm old now, I don't have the energy, or those rich, fatty meals meant for pleasure but are actually silently building up risk. Heart disease doesn't come banging on the door. It creeps up quietly, little by little, when you aren't paying attention, or when you think my body is still fine. That is the cruelest irony. Many people only find out they have a heart problem when it's far too late. So what are the common culprits that put older adults at higher risk? In today's video, we will break down each factor, from high blood pressure and diabetes to high cholesterol and sedentary habits, so you can take an honest look at yourself and start making changes today. And the great news is, it is never too late to care for your heart. By changing just one small habit each day, you can create a massive difference in your health and longevity. If this topic resonates with you, make sure you are subscribed to join us on this journey to better health in our later years. And if you're watching along, drop a quick comment to let me know you are here. Now let's get started. Reason 1. Uncontrolled high blood pressure. You probably do not feel a thing. No dizziness, no headaches, no obvious fatigue. But your blood pressure is creeping up, little by little, day after day. That is precisely the danger of high blood pressure. It is silent, yet incredibly destructive. Many older adults believe blood pressure is only high when symptoms appear. But the reality is the opposite. Most people with chronic hypertension show no clear signs for years, until their heart is too damaged to ever fully recover. When you are young, your artery walls are soft and flexible, so your heart pumps blood easily. But over time, arteries begin to stiffen, their walls thicken, and the passage inside narrows. If your blood pressure stays high and uncontrolled, your heart must work harder every single minute, like an engine forced into constant overload without a break. It is not just your heart that suffers. High blood pressure also damages the brain, kidneys, and eyes. It is the leading cause of stroke, heart failure, kidney failure, and even blindness. And what's tragic is many strokes in older adults could have been prevented if only their high blood pressure was found and managed in time. Arthur, 73 from Arizona, thought he was perfectly healthy since he still gardened every morning. He rarely visited a doctor until one day he suddenly felt numbness down one side of his body while watering plants. The cause was a minor stroke. His doctor diagnosed him with high blood pressure, which had gone untreated for over 10 years. After that, he started checking his blood pressure weekly, taking medication diligently, and closely tracking his numbers. Today, he still gardens, is still healthy, but lives more mindfully and understands his own heart better than ever. The key takeaway is you do not need to wait for a health crisis to take action. Even without symptoms, checking your blood pressure regularly once a week is the easiest way to manage your risk. If you are on medication, take it on time, at the right dose. And if you do not know your blood pressure numbers, today is the perfect time to find out. You can check it at home using a digital monitor. If the reading is over 130/80 mmHg, that is a sign to pay attention. Do not get complacent just because you feel fine. Your body might be silent, but the numbers tell the whole story. And if you are wondering whether you are in a risk group, think about the last time you checked your blood pressure. If it has been over a month, that is your sign to act, because your heart deserves your attention before it has to cry for help. Reason 2, a lack of physical activity. You might believe that at this age, resting is the sensible thing to do. No need to push yourself, no need for any extra exercise. But the very habit of sitting too much, of moving too little, is weakening your heart each day, slowly but surely. Many older adults feel that exercise is just for the young, that old age is a license to slow down. But did you know that your heart is a muscle? And like any other muscle, if you do not use it, it will gradually lose its strength. When you sit for too long throughout the day, watching TV, lying down, walking very little, your body's ability to circulate blood efficiently declines. Your heart rate slows, blood flow weakens, and tiny capillaries in your legs and lungs become less active. The consequences: higher risk for high blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, and ultimately heart disease, begin to build up quietly and unseen. Linda, 76, lives alone in a California suburb. After her husband passed away, she lost all interest in going out. Every day, she would just stay inside, watching television from morning until night. One day, she got winded after walking just a few steps into her garden. A doctor's visit revealed her heart had weakened considerably from her prolonged sedentary lifestyle. Her doctor did not ask her to start jogging, but simply to begin with small things. Stand and stretch hourly, take a light 10-minute walk around the house after meals. After 3 months, her heart health metrics had markedly improved. She slept better, and she felt her spirits lift as well. You do not have to join a gym or perform strenuous workouts. Just gentle, consistent movement every day is enough to make a huge difference. A 20-minute walk outside, a few simple stretches while watching TV, or even standing up and sitting down a few times while waiting for the kettle to boil. All of these are prescriptions for your heart. If you have ever said the words, "I just do not have the strength I used to," then you must remember, movement is precisely how you hold on to the strength you still have. Because if you stop completely, your body will weaken faster than you imagine. Do a quick check-in with yourself today. In the last 24 hours, how many minutes of movement did you get in total? If that number is under 30, your heart is asking for your help. And the wonderful thing is, as soon as you start with small steps, a little bit each day, your heart will respond with more resilience, strength, and peace in every beat. Reason 3, a diet high in salt and saturated fat. You have probably heard it a million times. Too much salt is bad for you. Too much fat is bad for your heart. But what most people do not tell you is this. At this age, even a small excess at mealtime can become a genuine threat to your heart. After age 65, our bodies do not process food as efficiently as they once did. Our liver, kidneys, and blood vessels have already put in decades of hard work. When you keep loading your system with too much salt, oil, fried foods, or processed meats, you multiply that burden. Salt causes your body to retain water, which silently drives up blood pressure. Saturated fat, plentiful in animal fats, butter, cheese, sausage, and fast food, builds up on artery walls, creating plaque that narrows the passageway for blood, making it harder to flow. And so your heart must work much harder every day to push blood through pipes that are slowly becoming clogged. Henry, 78, was a celebrated chef in Chicago. His entire career was built on rich, buttery dishes. He would joke, "I can't cook anything without butter and salt." But after a terrifying bout of chest pain, he was forced to change. Tests revealed his cholesterol and blood pressure were double the safe limit. From then on, he began embracing steamed and boiled foods, replacing red meat with fish, using olive oil instead of butter, and most importantly, he learned to season with a lighter hand. "It wasn't easy, but I started tasting the real sweetness in vegetables I'd never noticed before," he shared. Now he still cooks, but for his heart, not just his taste buds. You do not have to abandon all the foods you love, but start by cutting back. Use less salt when you cook, choose low-sodium sauces, and read labels on packaged goods. Reduce bad fats by choosing leaner meats, limiting fried foods, and swapping butter for plant-based oils. A good rule of thumb is, if it's super crispy, rich, and salty, it's probably not your heart's best friend. Create balance by adding more green vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and fish to your daily meals. Those simple foods are the shield that protects your blood vessels. If you are asking yourself, "Is my diet okay?" Try to remember, when was the last time you had a meal without red meat or anything fried? Your heart does not require fancy food. It just needs you to cook with awareness, and a bit of moderation. Because your nutrition, even a tiny choice at a single meal, can change the length and quality of your life. If you are still with me and finding this helpful, drop a 3 in the comments to let me know. And hey, if you have not already, this is a great time to subscribe and ring that bell so you will not miss what is next. Your support helps us create more inspiring and useful content. Reason 4, diabetes. Nobody ever wants to be diagnosed with diabetes, but the real danger isn't just the disease itself. It is how it silently damages your heart, every day, every hour, even when you feel perfectly fine. When you have diabetes, it means your blood sugar levels are chronically high, and sugar in moderation provides energy. But in excess, it becomes a smoldering poison. High sugar inflames small blood vessels, weakens their walls, and disrupts the delivery of oxygen to the heart. The result is a heart that has to work much harder while receiving less fuel, leading to heart failure, heart attack, or stroke. Tragically, a great many older adults have diabetes without having any idea. This is because diabetes does not always present with obvious symptoms. Someone might just feel a dry mouth, urinate at night, or feel mild fatigue, and dismiss it as a normal part of getting older. But every day that blood sugar goes unchecked is another day of damage to the heart. Margie, 71, from Florida, thought she was in good health since she had not gained weight and ate normally. During a health screening offered by her church, she discovered her blood sugar was 100 DL, and she had been pre-diabetic for more than 3 years unknowingly. Her doctor told her something that stuck with her forever. Uncontrolled blood sugar is like letting acid slowly leak inside your blood vessels, corroding everything. From that day on, she completely changed her habits. She cut out refined sugar, ate whole fruit instead of drinking juice, walked for 30 minutes every morning, and checked her blood sugar weekly. After 6 months, her numbers were back in a safe range, and she also felt mentally sharper and slept soundly. You do not have to overhaul everything at once, but start with one thing. If you do not know your blood sugar level, find out. If you are on medication, take it consistently as prescribed. And if you still eat a lot of sweets, white flour, sodas, and pastries, let that be a wake-up call. Your heart is being threatened. Sugar does not just impact your pancreas or your eyes. It directly impacts your heart, your blood vessels, and your entire life. You have the power to control this. Start by just noticing what you eat for one day. Does refined sugar show up a little too often? Are you drinking soda, using sweetened coffee creamer, or eating cookies every night? Your heart cannot handle that kind of prolonged sweetness if it comes from uncontrolled blood sugar. But it will thank you if you start today with the smallest of changes. Reason 5, high cholesterol. If high blood pressure is a ticking time bomb, then high cholesterol is the silent explosive charge just waiting to be set off. You may not feel a thing, no aches, no fatigue, no obvious discomfort. But inside you, tiny particles of fat are slowly building up on your artery walls, creating layers of plaque, making the pathways for blood flow to your heart narrow, rough, and dangerous. Many older adults hear high cholesterol and immediately think eating too much fat. But the reality is more complex. High cholesterol can stem from many things: genetics, lifestyle, chronic stress, and even decades of unmonitored eating habits from your youth. Every soda, every skipped breakfast, every rich bowl of fatty soup played a small part in this silent process. When bad cholesterol, LDL, gets too high, it collects in your arteries like debris clogging a pipe. Then one day, if a piece of that plaque breaks loose, it can block blood flow to the heart or brain, causing a heart attack, stroke, or even sudden death. What makes this so insidious is people often have no clue until it is too late. Daniel, 75, was a strict math teacher who lived an orderly life, a non-smoker and non-drinker. But he had one unwavering habit. Every morning he ate bread with butter and deli meat for 40 years. At a routine physical, his doctor discovered his cholesterol was a staggering 250 mg/dl, almost 100 points over the safe limit. "I never thought I was in a risk group," he said, but after counseling, he began to change. He ate oatmeal instead of white bread, swapped deli meat for avocado, ate fish instead of red meat, and took a 15-minute walk every afternoon. 3 months later, his cholesterol had dropped significantly, and more importantly, he felt he was living with intention, not just on autopilot. You cannot feel high cholesterol. You can only know you have it through a test, and you do not need to wait for symptoms to appear before you make a change. A simple blood test every 6 months could spare you from painful, expensive hospital stays. If you have ever thought, I eat lightly, I am not overweight, so I must be fine, remember, high cholesterol does not just pick overweight people. It picks the complacent. Ask yourself this: when was the last time you had your LDL and HDL levels checked? Do you know where you currently stand on the cardiovascular risk scale? You cannot change your past, but you can absolutely control what you eat starting today. And sometimes that one choice at breakfast, no butter, no deli meat, but maybe a slice of apple and a few walnuts, is the very thing that keeps your heart safe for many years to come. So we have just walked through 5 common factors that are the silent culprits, making the hearts of many older adults more vulnerable than ever. From unmanaged high blood pressure in a sedentary lifestyle, to a diet high in salt and fat, to diabetes and high cholesterol. Each factor might seem separate, but in reality they weave together a web of risk that surrounds the heart, especially after age 65. The key takeaway is that most of these risks stem from those seemingly harmless daily habits, and you may have been living with them for years without even realizing it. But here's the good news: none of this is set in stone. No one is asking you to flip your life upside down, to train like an athlete, or adopt a punishing diet. It just takes one small adjustment each day: checking your blood pressure more often, getting up to walk after an hour of sitting, choosing a steamed dish over a fried one, using one less spoonful of salt, or picking a sugar-free snack in the afternoon. Those things, however small, are the first steps to taking back control of your heart's health. So now, take a moment to think of the 5 factors we just covered. Which one hit closest to home for you? Have you gone a long time without a blood pressure check? Do you tend to eat on the salty side? Maybe you realize you are not moving enough each day. Whatever it is, the moment you recognize it, you have already started the process of changing, and you are not alone in this. People like Arthur, Linda, and Henry, they all had moments of neglecting their own hearts, until they made the choice to care for them. They did not have any special advantages, just a simple resolve to live well so they could live joyfully and be fully present for the people they love. You can do that too. Your age does not prevent you from changing. Your body is listening to you every single day. It is just waiting for you to start. If you took something valuable away from this today, please leave a comment sharing what it was, or just drop a 5, so I know you made it to the end and that your heart is still beating strong for you. Please do not forget to subscribe if you would like to continue receiving these honest shares about health in our later years. Your support is the greatest motivation for me to keep making this content, for you, for your loved ones, and for an old age filled with vitality and grace. Thank you for your precious time and for listening. I will see you in the next video.